Hey Jeff, how you doing, buddy? What the? Well, let me guess. You just purchased the game and were eager to jump in. You skipped the tutorial and went straight into making your world. You randomized your character a couple of times because you didn't know what you are meant to be looking for. You spawned in, stepped outside your house and died instantly. Well, don't you worry, I'm here to save the day. With a couple of tips and tricks, you'll be on your way to be a zombie slaying survivor in no time. But first, let's start at the beginning. The real beginning. First thing I suggest you do when you load up the game is to go into the settings. Under the display tab, find the option that says aim outline and change that from ranged weapons to any weapons. This will allow you to reliably guess if you can hit the zombie with a melee weapon or not. Then I would scroll down a little bit and make sure that you check all the zoom levels. This will allow you to zoom out further away from your character, letting you be more aware of your surroundings. After you've done that, I suggest you go into the accessibility tab and tick on resume normal speed when timed actions are complete. Now that you've changed your game options, it's time to make your world. Click the solo button in the menu, select your playstyle. I suggest all beginners start of the apocalypse playstyle. Click next. Name your save whatever you want it to be called. I'm gonna call it beginner world, if I can spell it right. And I suggest you spawn in either Riverside or Rosewood, as West Point and Mordra have a very high zombie population. I'm gonna spawn in Riverside. Click next. Now is the time to set up your character. Not all characters in Project Zomboid are made equal. On this screen you will see 3 columns. The left one is the occupation column. Occupations can be compared to classes in other RPG games. They'll allow your character to start with extra points in a few different skills and sometimes even an extra trait. But beware, they cost way more compared to traits and you can only pick one. The middle column is the available traits column. Here you will see what traits you have available, what they do and how much they cost. The positive traits will take away from your available points pool, whereas the negative traits will add to it. Finally, you have the column on the right, which will show you what traits you have chosen, how many points they cost, and how they affect your character. For a beginner, I suggest you pick the burglar occupation, as it gives you loads of points in movement related skills, allowing you to get out of sticky situations early on. It also starts you with the burglar trait, which allows you to hotwire vehicles from the get-go, meaning you don't have to bait zombies to get a key to a vehicle you want, as well as reduces the chance of you breaking a window, making it easier for you to break into locked houses without destroying the windows. For the positive traits, I recommend picking Cat's Eyes, Dexterous, Fast Learner, and Keen Hearing. Cat's Eyes allow you to see better at night, preventing you from getting jammed by zombies that you may otherwise not have seen in the darkness. Dexterous allows you to transfer items between inventories more quickly, letting you get in and out of houses before zombies get to you. Fast Learner increases your XP gain in different skills, making it less of a grind to level them up. And for the last positive trait, I picked Keen Hearing. Keen Hearing will increase your perception radius, which allows you to spot zombies that are directly behind you from a much larger distance, giving you more time to react to sneaking up buggers. For the negative traits, I recommend picking a Slow Healer, Underweight, Prone to Illness, Weak Stomach, Slow Reader, and Sunday Driver. Slow Healer means that your wounds will take longer to heal, but after watching this video you won't have to worry too much about that, as I'll show you ways to avoid getting injured by zombies or other causes in the first place. Underweight starts your character under the 75 kg mark, meaning that they are more fuel at the start of the game, but as you'll quickly learn, it will be fairly easy to get back up to normal weight if you play your cards right. Prone to illness and weak stomach are both skills that sound super dangerous on the surface, But from my experience, you're very unlikely to catch any sort of disease in this game, and the only way you can get food poisoning is by eating uncooked, stale or rotten food, which I recommend you not to do in any situation. Slow reader makes you take longer to read books, but since you're playing single player, you can just skip time anyway, so it doesn't make that much of a difference to you. And finally, for the last negative trait, I picked Sunday driver, as it just means that you'll drive slower, which can actually be beneficial to you, as you'll likely be able to react to road hazards more reliably if you otherwise didn't have this trait. Alright, so you've spawned in, let's explain a few basics. On the top you'll see your inventory tabs, the one on the left is your inventory and the one on the right is what you'll find around you. You'll see that there may be a couple of icons on the sides of these tabs. These icons represent the specific containers around you or any bags you may have be wearing on your character at the moment. On the bottom you'll see your hotbar. At the moment you should only have 3 spots available, but you can increase that to 5 if you have a double holster equipped. Number 1 slot is reserved for items on your back. These are usually 200, and the other 2 spots are reserved for 100 weapons or tools that can be slotted into your belt. In the top left corner you'll find a bunch of UI symbols to represent a couple different things. The top 2 circles represent the items you're carrying in your primary and secondary slots. The box icon tells you if your inventory is open or closed. If you're closed it by accident, you can bring it back up by pressing on that icon or clicking I. The heart icon lets you look at your health stats. This tab is important for once you start getting into fights with zombies and getting wounded, as it will tell you what's wrong with you and it will allow you to fix your wounds. You can also access this tab by pressing H. The hammer and ruler icon represents the crafting menu. In here you'll be able to see the various different item recipes that you can craft in this game. You can access this tab by pressing B or clicking on the icon. The drawer icon lets you play around with furniture, allowing you to pick it up, place it back down, rotate it and disassemble it. Once you've clicked on it, you can access the different modes by clicking tab. Finally, you have the map icon, which is self-explanatory. You can access it by clicking them and it will allow you to see parts of the map that you've already explored. And if you have any writing equipment, you will be able to place different various markers. Alright, with the UI out of the way, let's start working on the keybinds. WASD you use to walk around like in any other game. If you hold shift, your character will start jogging. If you hold alt, your character will start sprinting. If you click C, your character will go into sneak mode. While sneaking, they're less likely to be noticed by zombies, allowing you to sneak past them. If you click E, you will open doors or windows. If you hold E on an open window, you'll try to jump over it. And if you hold shift whilst pressing E, your character will try to open or close blinds. If you hold right click, your character will go into a ready stance. In this stance they can push or swing their weapons, and they can also look around if you zoom far enough and pan your camera around. This allows you to spot enemies from further away. With space you can shove. By shoving you can trip zombies up, and if a zombie is tripped over you can walk out to them, press space again, and this will stomp their head in. That way you can kill your enemies as well. Alright, with those things out of the way, let's get started with the first house. In the first house you should look around for water containers, weapons, bits of food, clothing to rip up for bandages, a bag and some tools. Don't worry if you can't find everything, you'll be able to find it eventually during your first day. Let's get started with this house. So the first thing I'm gonna do, walk over to the kitchen and check inside the fridge. I see there's a bunch of meat and a bunch of vegetables in here. I'm just gonna keep note of that. Gonna look in the cupboard, there's a kitchen knife, I'm gonna right click on it and attach it to my belt. This will allow me to use the hotkeys that I talked about earlier. If you hold shift while scrolling, you'll be able to move through these containers much quicker, like so. Alright, in this second cupboard I see a bunch of pans. I'm gonna grab one and attach it on my back. They're less likely to break than a knife. I also see a saucepan in here. I'm gonna use it as a water container, so I'm just gonna grab it, open my inventory and put it in here. Now I'm gonna right click on the sink and I'm gonna fill in the saucepan with water. Now I'm gonna look in the other cupboard. In the last cupboard, I found some canned food. I'm gonna grab that instead of the fresh food. Ideally, I'd be able to find a can open here, but no such luck today. From the fridge, I'm gonna pick up the apple and carrots. Right, I'm gonna walk into the bedroom now, see if there's any clothes in here. There's none. I'm gonna check the bathroom. There's nothing in the bathroom. Don't worry if you can't find all of these things that I listed at the beginning, because you'll be able to find them soon enough. Alright, you finished looting your first house. The world is your oyster. It's time to go out there, explore and grab more supplies. Outside, you're no longer safe from the zombies. You'll find that there's plenty of zombies in Kentucky trying to kill you, and as a beginner you may not know how to approach them in combat safely. First things first, if there's a large group of zombies coming after you that you don't think you'd be able to take on in combat, you run. Try to use fence to slow them down and try to break line of sight as quick as possible. If there's only 1 or 2 zombies, feel free to take them on. To do so, get their attention, ready your weapon, and start swinging as you back up. You can also try pushing them over with the spacebar and then hitting them in the head, but only do so if you feel comfortable in being ultra close quarters to them, as to push you need to be standing really close to them. Another way to get the zombies on the ground easily is to let them hop over a window or a fence. Once they've hopped the window, they'll automatically be laying down on the ground. Beware, as sometimes they might attempt to grab you from that position, so don't take it for granted that you're safe next to them unless you are ready to hit them. Alternatively, you can also sneak up on the zombies with a knife and backstab them, guaranteeing an instant kill. However, that may garner attention of other zombies in the vicinity, so use that maneuver with caution. In regards to looting, I suggest you prioritize checking things off the checklist first. For clothing and bags, you can find them in bedrooms, laundry rooms, and on zombie corpses. Once you found some clothes that you want to turn into bandages, just right-click on them in your inventory and select the ripped clothing option. Alternatively, if you found something that you want to wear, right-click on it and select the wear option. I recommend you find some gloves and a jacket to wear, as they help give you protection in vital areas of your body that are likely to be wounded. For tools, I suggest checking sheds, garages, utility closets, and hardware stores. On your first day, I recommend you pick up a hammer, a saw, some nails, and a screwdriver. If you're lucky enough to have found an axe, grab that as well and put it on your back. If you've managed to check off everything from the checklist and there's still day left, I suggest you grab a skill book from one of the houses you've looted, go somewhere safe and read it. You can speed up time by clicking one of the arrow buttons in the top right corner of your screen, or by pressing the F2 to F6 keys. Now that the day's coming to an end, hopefully at this point you found everything that was on the checklist and got used to combat with the zombies. Now's the time for you to prepare a house for you to camp out during the night. I recommend picking a house that has 2 stories, as it gives you more time to escape if you start hearing zombies breaking inside from the bottom. Ideally, this house would be in an area that isn't very populated, but don't worry if it is. Kill all the zombies that are inside and outside of it, close all the doors and windows, and close all the curtains on the bottom floor. Finally, go upstairs, find a room with a bed in it, barricade the door with another piece of furniture, and go to sleep. That's pretty much it for this video. Now you're on your way to become a zombie slaying survivor. Don't worry if you fail, failure is part of the process. If you remember, whenever you spawn in or load up the game itself tells you this is how you died. Learn from your mistakes and hone your skills, but most importantly, have fun. If you've enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe to my channel, as it goes a long way in motivating me to keep doing this. If you want to see a specific topic covered, leave a suggestion in the comments section below, or take a look at my Project Zomboid 101 playlist on my channel. If you want to catch me live, turn on notifications here on YouTube or follow me on Twitch. I stream on both platforms. I hope you have a good day and thanks for watching. Bye.